if the Eagles really want to make a run in the playoffs, they got to do one thing. Run DeAndre Swift. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Cake Dingbat here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. You know, I'm going to say something that probably many of you guys will agree with. Some of you guys definitely won't agree with. But it's really how I feel about the situation. Out of all the years I've watched the Eagles go in the playoffs, I've never had so little hope as I have right now going into the playoffs. It's unbelievable, and it's directly related to the way the Eagles have finished the season. They have completely collapsed. They have been self-destructive, okay? I don't look at the Eagles and say, this team isn't talented. They don't have talent. They can't win. They can't beat the good teams. I think that's the totally opposite. I think this team, at their best, when they're playing good football, can beat anybody in the NFL. But what the Eagles are self-destructive. What the Eagles are a mess. They constantly lose, and they come out of these games looking the same way every week because of them. It's on them. It's their fault. They have to change their ways. They're not losing to Arizona the way they're losing to Arizona because they're not a talented team. They didn't even lose to the Giants last week because they didn't have a lot of injuries. They didn't lose the 49ers the way they did because they're not talented, or Dallas. No, they're very talented. This team, in my opinion, talent-wise, and I'm saying talent-wise, is closer to the 10-1 team we got earlier in the year than what we got now. Something happened along the way, and it's thrown them all off. And what they're all trying to do right now is figure a way to turn the switch on, okay? How do we get it back? How do we get this thing going? And I don't believe it's the players that are going to have to make that decision. I believe it is the coaches. And isn't it interesting that of all the years watching football, I can't ever remember a time where you had the players running to protect the coaches instead of the coaches running to protect the players. There are reports that the Eagles, the players really questioned the play calling, really didn't believe that the coaches were putting them in the best position. When you have that kind of thought in the locker room, it can spread. It can spread quickly, and that's what it's done. Now, this team is trying to get it back. And listen, the players are all saying great things. You got Fletcher Cox going out there saying they still believe in the coaches. Dallas Goedert has said it. A lot of these guys said it. Brandon Graham, I love Brandon Graham. He's always Mr. Positive. No matter what, you have to respect it. But this is what he said on Sports Radio WIP. I understand y'all frustration, but y'all ain't in that building. So I can't wait. I feel like that dog mentality of us got to come back. It kind of got back to that feeling of like everybody doubting us again. Yeah, there it is. Come on, y'all. Brandon Graham fired up on 94 WIP, so they say. That sounds great, but we've heard that, for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and we haven't seen it. Now it's do or die. And to me, it's not going to be the players, okay? The players are going to come out. They're going to give their best effort. But if they come out and the game plan sucks, and if they come out and they're doing the same things and they don't believe it, they're going to quit again, okay? You could go back to, all these games. You could go back to that Giants game last week when they went for it. Was a 4th and 6, 4th and 4? I can't remember what. At their own 48, they go for it and don't get it. Team deflated. Jalen Hurts fumbles the ball versus Dallas on the opening drive where we're inside like their 10. Their team deflated. This team doesn't believe in what the coaches are telling them. I truly, 100% believe that. Okay? So it's upon the coaches, in my opinion, to get these players to believe in them again. To get these guys believing in what they're doing. And if they do that, I think you'll see a team that could actually get a little bit hot and get going. Now, defense is fundamentally going to be flawed. They're going to have major problems. I think Patricia has made it worse than it was. However, I do think the offense can carry them. I do, especially the playoffs. If they can get hot and if they can get on the run. But while the coaches want to come out and they want to throw the ball every first quarter. They'll run the ball twice early, have a 30-yard run, and then they'll throw 5, 6, 7 times in a row. If I'm the Eagles and I want to get this thing going, there's one guy that can change the whole complexion of how the playoffs are going to go. The whole idea of how you see this offense can change if they use one guy correctly, and that is DeAndre Swift. If they go out and they use DeAndre Swift and they focus their offense around running DeAndre Swift, it will open up the passing game. It will open up everything. Not to mention, by having a running back on the field and killing and chewing up clock, it keeps your weakest link off the field, your defense. So I think DeAndre Swift is the key to this game. Now, you may be saying, well, listen, Philly, he gets hurt a lot if they run him too much. They can't use him too much. We got Kenneth Gainwell. Gainwell, playoff time, baby. Kenneth Gainwell, playoff time. Get the hell out of there with Kenneth Gainwell. He stinks. All right, DeAndre Swift is the key to a playoff run. The key. But you've got to use him. Now, to me, there's no excuse not to use him. DeAndre Swift is over 1,000-yard back. They haven't even used him properly this year, and he's still got over 1,000 yards. Now, here's the thing that we know. Most likely, the Eagles are not going to re-sign him because he's got over 1,000 yards. He's going to demand a bigger contract. The Eagles don't like to pay running backs. We know this. Well, this should really free the Eagles to go into the playoffs and use them 25 times a game. I'm saying, give him 25 carries a game. 25 carries. Keep using him. Hey, listen, if he gets hurt, so be it. It is what it is. They're not signing him anyways. I know that sounds bad, but they're not resigning him anyways. They're not bringing him back anyways. You know it and I know it. They're not going to pay a running back what he's going to ask for. I wish they would. I think they need to. But what they need to do is they need to use DeAndre Swift from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. Come out running. And then, in the second quarter, do not put Kenneth Gainwell in. On third down, do not put Kenneth Gainwell in. When you got Todd Bowles blitzing you, don't be afraid to run a running back screen out of the backfield. Do things to pick up the blitz. Run him on a wheel route. You could use him in the passing game. You could use him in the running game. If you make DeAndre Swift the centerpiece right now of your offense, and I know you have A.J. Brown, and I know you have Devontae Smith. I get you have those guys. But you know what? Trying to force feed them every game, every down, trying to throw long to A.J. Brown all the time hasn't been working. And the amount of blitzing that Todd Bowles is going to want to do with this team, how he's going to come out and try to blitz the Eagles, he's going to blitz every down. He's going to watch exactly what the Giants did, and they're going to do it the same thing. And what the Eagles need to do is they need to combat that. Well, it would be nice to see some hot routes and things like that, but run the ball. Run the ball. I think you can make big plays on delayed draws. I think that if you use DeAndre Swift, it eventually, especially in that second half, it'll start to open up the passing game. And then you'll start getting plays to Goddard, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. Not to mention, you'll wear out the Tampa Bay defense. And not to mention, by having sustained drives where you have the ball for 6-7 minutes, you're going to keep the offense off the field. Now, if the Eagles do this, I believe this is a game plan the players would buy into. I think that they would all start, you would see a team that would start to believe again in what the coaches are doing. And maybe that would even start to translate on the defensive side of the ball. And I believe if the Eagles do that, I believe they'll blow out Tampa Bay. I mean, if you look at these teams just from a talent standpoint, this should be 35-13 Eagles. 34-13, 37-13. It should be that kind of blowout. The Eagles are that much better than this team, especially talent-wise. But they don't believe in the coaches. They don't believe in what they're doing. That's the problem. You have to get them to believe. I don't remember, honestly, I don't remember a time where you had coaches that, or a team that the players had to try to build up the coaches instead of the coaches build up the players. It's bizarre. I think they need to do it. And I saw that Mike Vrabel got fired today, got canned. He's not coming back to Tennessee. Now, I'm sure he's going to want head coaching job. There are rumors that the New England might be interested in him. But I'll tell you what, if I could get him for a defensive coordinator, he's another guy. Put him right next to Wink Martindale to go ahead and try to bring in as a defensive coordinator job. They can't keep Matt Patricia. He can't stay. He stinks. He stinks. And I don't want him to have an off season to try to implement his defense. And then you get a guy like Hassan Reddick. What, they're going to run him, they're going to put him out in coverage? No. We got to get back to our roots. We got to get back to Eagles football. What is Eagles football? It's a defense that will knock your head off. It's a defense that's coming. We're aggressive, and we're looking to make your quarterbacks legless. Legless, mother humpers. That's what we have to get back to. And until we do that, we're gonna have a problem. If we want to play this, we're gonna bend, but we're not gonna break. Let's just like bend over the couch and go inch by inch up like a gentleman. No, thank you. I want a defense that kicks ass once again. Enough of this crappy baby defense. I hate it. It's soft and it stinks. Just my opinion. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, how we vision, baby. We're all just living in it. So I have to send the belt back to Pizzle. I have it packed up, ready to go. I just have to run it up to the post office. And I got to tell you, I made sure on the last night of having that belt, having it wrapped around my big fat ass waist, I made babies with it. I made 3-4 babies with that thing. Yes, that's right. Matrimonial duties with nothing on but the belt and smoking a stogie. That's right. We making babies with that belt. Pizzle. That belt is coming back, but that belt has... You're going to see, Pizzle. You're going to see. Denzel Washington out.